What's up, Mythic Crew? Welcome back to another video. So it's been a while since I've talked to you. We now have left Tennessee and we've moved to Phoenix, Arizona, where I used to live, back with my old friends. We got the Porsche in the garage here. We have the 350Z parked out front, and we actually have a new car. We have a 1997 2G GST Eclipse. So this DSM that I just got is making around 300 horsepower or so, I've been told. It has a 6-bolt swap from a first generation, and it is forged bottom end rods and pistons, and then it has a full Brian Crower head, so valves, springs, retainers, cams, cam gears. We have a pretty built engine, and that's kind of why I went for the GST instead of a GSX, is because it has the 6-bolt. It also has some yellow speed coilovers, which surprisingly enough are actually really comfortable for the price and really good. It's a little bit of a mess in the engine bay. We'll end up cleaning that up. There's a couple things we need to do: replace the brake booster, fix some oil seepage and leaks, and then it definitely needs body work. We're gonna respray the whole car. I would like to know you guys' opinions on what color we should go for, because I do not think we will be keeping it white. It has fresh headlights. It has the Moshimoto Gold intercooler along with a Moshimoto radiator and catch can, which is pretty sweet. Innovate gauges. It has a Momo steering wheel with the quick release. It has 3G linkage. So just like any other DSM, this one needs some work, a little bit here and there, but overall it's a really solid car, and I'm excited to dig into it and show you guys what's up with the new build. I think we'll go E85. We're gonna do an all-wheel drive swap down the line. Yeah, probably just have a lot of fun with this thing, not go too crazy, make sure I can still daily it and drive it. I want to show you that with the right amount of maintenance and the right work, that a DSM can be reliable in a daily driving car. So yeah, right now I'm gonna just gap these spark plugs for the amount of boost we're running, and we will toss those in, do an oil change. Let's get to it. All right, so we have all of our spark plugs gapped now to the specification, and we're gonna take everything apart and toss them in. See, around that spark plug, there's a lot of oil down in there. So the seal that's right here for the valve cover was not sealed properly, and it is now leaking, which is not good. That can ruin our coil. Probably already has. So we're going to need to reseal this entire valve cover. I did notice that on this front edge right here too, it is seeping. Well, that might throw a little bit of a wrench in our plans for tonight, because if it's going to leak oil into the top of the cylinder over the spark plug, I'm not going to want to change out the new plugs, just knowing that we're going to have to take off the valve cover and reseal it. That said, I do have a valve cover gasket for the car. Alright, so the gasket on the back side of the oil filter housing right here has quite a bit of a leak, and we knew about that issue beforehand. That is something that we are about to fix because we have the gasket. We're going to take it all off, clean it all up, get it resealed. So to finish removing the oil filter housing and the last two bolts, we needed to remove the lower timing cover. So we've loosened the alternator and the
AC compressor and took off that timing cover. Now we are here and we're ready to replace the gasket.
Alright, we've cleaned off both surfaces, this mating surface and the surface on the oil filter housing here, and I've used a clean rag. We scrape them off with this blade very carefully. You go flat, not up, because if you go up you will put nicks in there and it may not seal. Then at the end I take brake clean or carb clean, wipe off both surfaces very clean, get a new rag, wipe them off. Now they're both really dry, so we're going to take this ultra black gasket maker. Usually I like to use Subaru case sealer for almost any seal because it is one of the strongest sealers I've ever used, and it's extremely oil resistant and coolant resistant. But I do not have access to that today, so we will use ultra black because this is an oil resistant gasket maker.
I'm now applying some of the gasket maker to the surface of the block, and then I've put in our new gasket. I've put a bolt into the oil filter housing to help align it, and now I'm sliding another one in so I can start those both by hand and get them screwed in, and then we will slowly tighten all of the bolts and get it all sealed up. We have a little thin layer of silicone on both sides to help seal with that gasket. You don't want to use a lot because the gasket is what's supposed to be doing the work. Now, as you can see, we have put the lower timing cover back on. We put the pulley on along with the belts for the alternator and the AC compressor.
These two wires have been cut.
Okay, we have a straight yellow one and we have a yellow with a red line. The yellow with a red line goes to the oil pressure sensor, and then this is for the oil light, which is the solid yellow. And it is, generally speaking, the best way to heat shrink fluid. Good.
We're now onto the top side of the engine. We're going to remove the valve cover because the tubes, the spark plug tubes, are leaking, and then we're going to route this PCV because they did not have this hooked up at all. Alright, so we've got the valve cover back on. I think that that's about all I've got in me for tonight. It's around 1 in the morning, maybe 1:30 or so. We don't have too much left to do, but tomorrow I'm definitely going to replace the spark plugs, and we're going to set up a catch can for this PCV, probably remove the cruise, and I think we're going to reroute some of these cables that are just sitting around here. Maybe reroute some of the vacuum hoses, clean up this engine bay, make it look a little better, start the car and see if my oil leaks are fixed. So I'm gonna set the car down, push it forward so I can close the garage door, and I'm gonna go to bed. I will see you guys tomorrow. Alright, so they had no PCV right here, and they had the port right here plugged off for where the PCV goes, so I went and got a fitting from the hardware store and took out the plug that they had. We're now going to put this catch can over here, put one hose from the PCV to the catch can, and then one hose from the catch can to a check valve, and then back to the hose in the intake. Alright, the PCV has been routed into the catch can, back into the intake.
This is only a temporary catch can for now, till tomorrow when we get the actual one, and then I'll clean this up and put it somewhere nice.
Unplug the idle control valve, which is right under this intake tube, right under the throttle body, right here. And we are going to check all the resistances because my idle has been dropping whenever I turn the AC on. It has been stumbling, so that is a sign that the idle control valve is not working correctly. So we're going to test it with our multimeter here, check the resistance, and we're looking for 30 ohms.
That's 30, okay.
So we've tested pins 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 4 to 5, and 5 to 6. All of them were good. They were within the range, right around 30 ohms, give or take a couple. That's good. So there is another test we can do to apply 6 volts.
So future Seth here, after I got a battery and applied the 6 volts and took the idle air control valve out, it looks as though it was not working properly, and we ordered a different one that we put in, and it did fix the idle. When I turn on the AC system, it now does not bog down. I had to adjust it through DSM link and get it to read around 30 at full warmed up idle. And now we're looking pretty good. So in this video we've done a lot with our new car. We put in spark plugs, fixed the oil leak, we took out the emissions equipment so that we could clean up the vacuum lines, we added a PCV along with test the idle speed controller and replaced that. We got DSM link to work with a computer. A lot of the footage I couldn't get in here, but now the DSM's running good, and I hope y'all are excited about the new car for the channel, and I'll be posting more soon, so stay tuned. Thanks.